Hey guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are back for Demon Slayer Season 1, Episode 23. So, I'm really excited to see this episode because last episode we ended off with, hopefully Nezuko about to prove how much she won't eat humans. After thinking about it for a time, I am kind of hoping that her little programming that she has that makes her see humans as family, even though this guy is hurting her, which that's what worries me a little bit. Hopefully she'll see him as family and like he cut himself to try to get her to eat it. And it'd be awesome if she like started wrapping it up or something, like bandaging it or something like that, you know? Um, but that's kind of just my hope. I'm also a little worried because if someone's hurting her, will that bypass the programming and make her see them as a bad guy because kind of like how the reverse happened where the demons um wow, every time I like need to think of their names I can't I know Yoshiro is one of them, but you guys know those two, the two good demons that we met. um they Tamayo, there we go, sorry. uh they were being good to Nezuko, and so Nezuko noticed them, even though they're demons, as family, you know? So what if a human is bad? Kind of like the opposite. Will she not recognize them as family? But anyway, I'm excited, guys. I can't wait to see what happens, so let's just jump into it. We learned a lot last episode about the other Hashiras, or a bit anyway, at least what their element is, or I shouldn't say element because they're not all elements, but you know what I mean. Anyways, yes, let's start. All right, we're gonna start here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Stab the box like an asshole. Angry Nezuko. You stabby me. Opening time. Let's do it. Susume, everybody! It's a great opening. I'm glad they stuck with it through the whole thing. Not many anime do that these days that are two core like this, you know? Usually after the first core, they change it, so it's pretty neat. Meeting. Alright. Come on, Nezuko. This guy. Grandiose. Come on, Nezuko. Oh, jeez. Jeez. Good shit, Gyu. Letting him go. Oh. Oh. This is a really cool. Whoa. She like. Whoa. More flashback. The father. What did the mother say? No. Oh. Yes. Nezuko slots again. Yes. She's not as veiny. Yes, Nezuko. All right. Wasn't as grand as a wasn't as grand as I was hoping the build-up would be, but I do I like the flashback bits a lot. But like what she did, just like I thought it was gonna be a little more than that, but that's fine. I still enjoyed it. Yeah. Interesting. I felt like in that moment with what she just said, I felt like I recognized. I feel like I recognized her voice actress in that moment. Just angrily in the box. What? Very respectful. All right. Yes. What did you run it back for? Jeez. All right. The one careless one is the one that acted. Muichiro. Okay. Oh, what? Huh. Interesting. Right after they have this meeting about leaving a demon alive, the master mentions another demon that Tanjiro left alive. Interesting. Was that a threat of like I know, or was that a like I know her too and I approve? I don't know. Ooh. Either that girl carrying Nezuko is just very strong, or I underestimated how light Nezuko was. Because she's carrying Nezuko like no problem. I just assumed it's because Tanjiro was very strong. Butterflies. I mean, makes sense. Shinobu's home. Oh, it's her. Suguko. Master. Wait. Oh. Maybe because she's just higher up than them. Did they say Tanayo? Tanjiro's trained by a former Hashira, right? Okay, I think I need to go back to look at her name after. I think I wrote it down wrong, but that's fine. Oh, who's this? A patient. Okay. I guess they deal with different kinds of pharmaceuticals, right? She's mastering the art of shinobu. Oh my god. Oh, Zenitsu. Inosuke is going to be in one of the other beds, isn't he? Oh, Tanjiro. What a good boy. That freaking noise he's making. What the hell? Did you hurt yourself? I hate my life. Oh, he's still recovering from it. Ugh. Literally right, but you. He's right there and you missed him? Jesus. Tanjiro. Is he asleep or. Oh. What? What's wrong with his voice? Or is that just not Inosuke? Lost his voice. Huh. Oh my god. That frickin' snot, Jesus. Oh. Or is it not him? He's gonna be like off training. Zenitsu full throttle this episode. Yeah. You all survived. Oh. Yeah. Hmm. It's a little ominous, to be honest. I would love to learn more about him to aw. She's already asleep. Aw. That's a sad thought. So we must, yes, turn you back to human. Oh, really? Yeah, I mean, I think they also need to work better at deciding where they send their people, you know? They sent a bunch of lowest ranks to go take on a blood demon. Or a blood moon. Hmm. Okay. A unit? Oh, fuck this. God damn it. I'm going back after. I was gonna I was gonna try to write down the first name and then I just gave up. But I want all their names. I want to organize all their names with the type of breathing they do. I will defeat you, but then he said we will bring you down. Huh, okay, interesting. I still think he can fight, but we'll see. I guess I'll go back after I'm done talking after the discussion because that's gonna take a bit to write all that down. So I might as well just wait, and I might as well do it, reorganize my list and everything all at once to put them with their Hashira type or whatever. Do 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 do. All right, so that was an interesting episode, guys. Um, I mean, my favorite part for sure is the Nezuko backstory bit, which we'll talk about in a few since the ending's just about over. That took too long. Usually I try to talk a bit during the outro, but I was writing shit down, thinking about shit. Let's see. Taisho secret time. A millennial miracle. Okay, Taisho secret time. 97th leader. Alright. Alrighty, guys, that is it for episode 23. So, Master, let's write that down, is 97th leader. See, I was a little confused, and I thought about this during the episode, and it's funny that I thought about this during the episode, and then in the Taisho secret, they tell us this. I wonder if that's just a coincidence, or if that's something that they realize that people might think about. Like, there's something in the episode that triggers that thought process. But basically, my thought was, Tanjiro kept talking about the master having a voice that made him feel mellow and calm and stuff like that, and he said it in a way that made me think that it was like a ability or something, rather than just like someone having a smooth voice that you don't mind listening to. It could be that, but it almost made it seem like it was like a ability, you know. And I started thinking, like, when I thought ability, I thought, like, what if he's really a demon and that's, like, his blood art, you know? And then, I don't know, I don't think that's the case, you know? But, or part of his blood art, you know? I don't think that's the case, but then another part of me was like, well, if he's the leader, I felt like he's like that's the shadow we saw in the start of the show representing the leader of the Demon Slayers. And I thought they were saying like when they said like the one who like leads the Demon Slayers is unknown when like Orokodaki was like explaining it towards the beginning. I felt like he said that. And and it made me think that it was the same leader this whole time since the Demon Slayers began, it's somehow been the same leader, but since they're all just human, if they're all just human, then the leader should age and die, and then there should be a new one, right? And I started to think through the episode, I was like, well, wait, is this guy somehow a long-living human? Or is he actually a demon running the Demon Slayer Corps? Or what? But the Taisho secret here said he's the 97th leader, which just kind of shoots all of those theories in the foot and just makes me think that he's just a normal human, you know? But, uh, but yeah, interesting. Alright. Well, I guess taking it back to the top towards the beginning, we have, I really like the way they framed Nezuko's backstory, where it just kind of like panned around her and then panned into the scene where she was first being like held by Tanjiro after she became a demon, and him saying like she's my sister, she didn't hurt anyone and stuff like that, and then going into the flashback of her family and everything with the overlying voice of Orokodaki saying, you know, you don't hurt people, they're your family, or whatever he said, you know, that whole programming that he put into her. Uh, but I thought that was like a really cool moment. I wonder what the mom said when, because it was like the father was sitting there and then she turned around and looked at the father and said something. I wonder what she said. I still think there's definitely more to Tanjiro's family with the whole dance for the fire god and stuff like that. Like, and then, you know, tying that back into the similar hair color as Tanjiro person wearing the same kind of earrings as Tanjiro, that Muzan like saw and was like briefly scared of, you know. So it wouldn't surprise me if we found out later on that Tanjiro's dad was this like badass demon slayer and actually almost killed Muzan at one point or something, you know. But but yeah, they didn't even. I don't even think they mentioned the fact that uh Tanjiro defeated a former Blood Moon too, you know? Like, obviously, a former Blood Moon might not be as powerful as the current Blood Moons are, but I'm surprised they didn't at least mention it when they were going over the things of like, hey, this kid, fought against a Blood Moon and didn't die, for one. I mean, he didn't kill him, but he didn't die. And then he also killed a former Blood Moon, and he's seen, Muzan in person. Like, I'm surprised that wasn't part of it, but yeah. Nezuko looking away, I forgot to talk about that bit. I talked about it a little bit during the reaction of it not being as big of a deal as I thought it was gonna be. They really hyped it up, I felt like, and I think that's the problem, is if she just did that last episode, I think I would have been perfectly okay with that, right? But the fact that they, like, stretched it out to be, like, take so long, I felt like, for her to do something, and even giving us, like, a flashback, which I love the flashback, I'm really glad we got that part, But, I don't know, just the fact that she stretched all that and everything, or not she, but the show stretched that, I expected something a lot more, like, convincing, because, like, you could argue, like, okay, she has some resistance, but she's still sitting there drooling and looks like she's struggling, but it would have been interesting if she walked up and even, like, like I thought maybe she'd walk up and bandage the wound or something for him, or something like that. I felt like that would have been, like, a lot more convincing than just, like, turning her head away, Although they did claim that she turned her head away in disgust, which I guess you could see it that way. I didn't really see it that way, but I can understand what they're getting at. And in her, like, turning away in disgust when they were explaining it to the master and everything. But yeah, I still love that moment of her being able to resist and having the flashback and, proving, I guess, enough to them that she can resist with human blood laid out right before her, She doesn't take that bait, so. But yeah, Nezuko, well, yeah, I guess Nezuko as well, but Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke are all healing up at Shinobu's home now. They seem to run some kind of medical facility there for probably healing some of the demon slayers that they bring back that are hurt, kind of like in situations like this. I'm sure this kind of thing arises a lot, So, we definitely had a lot of Zenitsu being the way he is, which I'm getting used to it. There's still, like, holy crap, dude, when he's sitting there, like, hyperventilating, although it's starting to just be, like, it was funny at first, and then it was annoying, and then it continued to kind of annoy me, and now it's starting to kind of be funny again, like, him just hyperventilating on the bed. I am trying to, like, the voice actor, I gotta say, is nailing it. In this, and I've been watching a reaction of it in the dub, and the voice actor for both the dub and the sub, he really, like, obviously I know it's a different voice actor, but those two voice actors really give it their all for Zenitsu's performance, and I gotta give them the respect they deserve. Like, they're killing it for that character all the time. But yeah, it was very interesting. The doopa-doopa-doo. That the master guy knows about Tamayo, at least. He said to Tanjiro, give Tamayo my regards. Which, like I said during the reaction, I feel like either that is a threat of being like, I know you met another demon and let them live, like, you better watch yourself kind of thing, or it was I know about her too, let her know that, like, next time you see her, actually give her my regards, like, maybe he really meant it, I really don't know. With the way his voice is very, I wouldn't say monotone, because it's not, but it's very, I feel like you can't hear any bits of menacing in it even when he's maybe trying to be a little bit more menacing, but I guess we haven't really seen him try to be more menacing and threatening, so it's kind of like a hard thing to gauge, you know? So I don't really know if it was supposed to be a threat or if it was supposed to be a genuine, like, you know, I know who she is, and I know that she's, you know, doing good and, you know, not eating people and, you know, getting people to donate blood and all that stuff. So it'd be cool if that was the case. I like to think that he knows a lot of what's going on, and he, like, since he mentions that and he knows about Tamayo, he knows about, you know, how she feeds and is, you know, okay with her existence and not mad about it, and it wasn't a threat, you know. I like the idea of that better. So I think that's the way I'm gonna go in my head canon, um but I don't really know for sure. Um so Inosuke's voice is lost. So his head got squeezed. They mentioned like his throat got damaged, and then he kept trying to talk afterwards, and it damaged his voice. Maybe I'm just forgetting, but did he get like hit in the throat at one point, or was it his head being squeezed that caused that? Like, I know he just kept rambling even after getting like tied up, and even after Gyu was like, "Hey, you need to like take a look at your own wounds and chill." And I guess that's just showing the repercussions to his actions of pushing himself, you know. Um, but interesting. I guess I'd have to go back and watch the fights that Inosuke was in and see if he does get nailed in the throat at one point. But yeah, um, man, that was a pretty. That, Jeez, the little table I'm on must be. I have like it's a weird setup because right immediately behind me, like pretty much under part of my chair, is where a chimney used to be. Actually, you can see it if you look in there. You can see where the chimney used to be, which is why I covered it up. And we used to have a wood stove right there, which we it was like a freestanding one that was on this like stone platform kind of thing that probably goes up like half an inch or something off the floor. And we took the wood stove out when I moved into here, but we left the stone flooring in because we had like carpet leading up to it and there was no carpet underneath it. So when I reorganized my room, if you watch some of my old videos, my this area used to look different. It was because my desk was turned like completely to the side, and you used to see my bed, which is over off in that direction. In all my videos with a bunch of other crap in the background. But I turned my desk, which now means that my chair sits like right on that or right on the edge, like partially on the rug and partially on that thing. So what I ended up doing was I ended up putting a little area rug over the old rug and over the other platform, but that wasn't enough. My chair was still having a hard time rolling around, so I got like a whole plastic mat and put that underneath where I'm sitting right now. But it's only like this big, and then I have a table that's about this big, so it's always like right on the edge. So the table, I'm just sitting here like talking, and I must have wiggled the table enough that it fell off the little plastic bit just a little bit, you know. It didn't like fall too much, but then the table was angled a little bit, and it like threw me off. Anyway, long explanation for no reason aside. Where was I? Oh yeah, it was a really sad little moment with Tanjiro, like kind of talking about how, you know, Nezuko is gonna. I don't know if demons live forever, but they live a long time past humans, you know? And if Tanjiro doesn't succeed in his mission to cure her, then he's gonna grow up and he's gonna become an adult, and eventually he's gonna get old and he's gonna die, and Nezuko is gonna be left here alone, you know? And that was a really sad moment, a sad realization from Tanjiro, and it felt really real because he is young and he doesn't think about that very much, but you know, there are some things that he does have to think about, and that is, you know, that is one of them to factor in, even though assuming he doesn't die from a demon or something, assuming he does make it to an old age before he dies, you know, he still has a long way to go for that. But it's something he does have to think about, because if he doesn't save Nezuko, she's just going to be left alone, So that was that was pretty sad to think about, and the voice actor killed it doing like a very calm and like serious tone, because I felt like the tone of the voice acting really pulled me into that scene. I'm not usually one to. I sometimes notice voice acting in it, and when I do, I really like it's at really important moments, But a lot of the times I don't factor it in, but when I do notice it, it like hits me pretty hard, So that was pretty. I really noticed the voice acting in that scene, but but yeah, and then we moved on to the biannual Hashira meeting. We got to sit in with that, which was pretty cool. They talked about the demon threat growing, which is interesting. I wonder if there is a reason for that. Like, what's the cause of demons maybe being more active, killing humans, or Muzan creating more demons for a purpose. But I mean, like, is it, I wonder if, like, I guess my point is, I wonder if there's going to be a reason for that, or is it going to be one of those things where they're kind of like, you know, well, in anime we always have to up the scales. So obviously they need to make the demon threat grow. Um, because if they were overly successful and started taking them all out, then there wouldn't be a show to be had. Um, but but yeah, I'm sure there's a in-world reason rather than the meta idea of like, well, yeah, they need to keep upping the stakes, so of course. But yeah, there's probably some in-world reason. We still have that ominous like Muzan is scared theory from Tamayo and stuff like that. So yeah. But they talked about how every time they start getting close to Muzan, he creates a clever diversion. Um, and because they, need to save as many humans as they can, it's something where he's able to just either create some demons, or he has some along with him that he can just sacrifice, send them off, and be like, hey, you guys go deal with this while I run away. And it's probably something along those lines, and they can't just go sacrifice human lives so that way they can chase after Muzan, so then they have to give up the pursuit. But yeah, it's certainly interesting. They also talked about how they need to up the quality of their demon slayers. I also think they need to consider the idea that they need to do more investigating or something before they send people into these dangerous situations, because like, did they know that there was a blood moon on that mountain? If they didn't, maybe they should have had the reconnaissance, they should have had the foreknowledge, and they should have sent people more qualified rather than sending like, what, they sent like 10 of the lowest rank demon slayers, and a good chunk of them got just wrecked. Pretty much all of them got wiped out except for Murata, but I think they saved a handful of them. Um, but and then they sent, they knew that the 10 lowest ranking demon slayers got wiped out, so they sent Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke. They just sent 3 more lowest ranking. Like, sure, there are three main characters, so from a meta perspective, we can think like, oh yes, they sent the protagonist of the story, so everything is going to be fine. But if you think about it from their perspective, that's just 3 more low-ranking demon slayers. I mean, maybe the master knows of Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke being a little bit more qualified than the 10 they sent initially, and that's why they sent them. It's very possible with that, because it seems like the master knows a lot. Um, but it's also possible that from their perspective, they just sent, 10 or 3 more of the same rank that already failed. And then he was like, I guess around that time, they sent those, and they also said we have to send the Hashiras, you know, but maybe they should have been like, all right, we need all like the lowest ranking to just get out of there. You know, we'll send the Hashiras, they'll deal with it, because obviously whatever there is too much to handle. But yeah, so yes, I do think that maybe some of those lower ranking demon slayers need to be trained up a little bit better, you know? But I do also think that it has to do with reconnaissance, realizing, you know, oh, there's a blood moon here, let's not send the lowest ranks as like cannon fodder, you know? So, but, you know, they seem to just want to mass recruit now. But and mass recruiting is not how you get quality, it's how you get quantity, so they got to be careful of that too. So, but yeah, anyways, very cool, interesting episode. A lot of little things with the master that intrigues me and makes me. I mean, I imagine someday we're gonna get like flashback on him, like we're gonna get backstory on him, and I'm excited for that moment. So, but that's going to be it for me, guys. I will be going back at some point after this video is over to write down all of those names. So as long as I remember, I should have all of the Hashira's names along with their correlating, like sound Hashira, yada yada yada, his name, listed down here in my notes. So that way I can refer to them later, because that was a lot of names rattled off, and I'll have all that organized for hopefully the next video. But yeah, that's going to be it from me. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed. Check out my Patreon if you want to see more from me. I very much appreciate it. Link is in the description below, or it should be popping up on the screen. You can get early access a couple episodes ahead right now through that early access tier, as well as my Patreon exclusives, where you can get to see several shows that aren't even released to YouTube yet. So check all that out if you're interested. Thanks so much, and I will see you in my future reactions. Bye-bye.